Hello, everyone. This is World Combat Sports. Thank you for tuning in. And it's Friday. So let's get it popping. Give me a minute while I find and locate one of the baddest chick in the fight game, Christina Ferea, currently the bare knuckle fighting championship champion, just coming off a win back in April against Britain Hart. So give me a minute to get her in here, and we're going to kick this off. Appreciate everybody that's tuned in. It's going to be another burner. So just give me a moment while I locate Christine so we can kick this off. She might be in the middle of training or what have you, but we're supposed to chat it up right now and talk about what she has going on in her, career, her next fight, talk about the gym, talk about her journey in general and how it's like to be one of the baddest chick in the game. Because she is absolutely no joke. Just give me a minute to get her on here. And did I tell you her alias is MISFIT? MISFIT with those hands on your chin. MISFIT when she got you in a choke and about to send you into a nightmare you weren't expecting in the middle of the day. Kick to the head. Anything and everything that you might dream about in the fight game, she can deliver. We're going to talk about one of the fighters that's familiar face in the UFC that she just straight up thrashed before they was in the UFC. When they was competing in Inficta, she gave her the business. But she never got the call up to the UFC. I'm just not sure of what that's all about. So as always, when it's the first time with some of these fighters that's on here, it take a minute for them to link up, especially doing live on YouTube. A lot of these fighters are used to and familiar going live on Facebook. It takes a little bit more complexity, just a smidgen, when you're going live over here on YouTube through Google. You know what I'm saying? So just hang tough with your boy and wait till I get back. Just be patient, and I will definitely try to find out where she's at. For those of you that's tuning in, be sure to smash that like button. It's Friday, y'all. Let's turn up. Let's turn up. And as always, I truly request that you give your input. If you have any questions for the champ, feel free to drop them in the comment section. It's called interaction. It's called having a group discussion, dialogue, impromptu, conversing. Anything you want to talk about, just pop it in the comment section. It's dealing with combat sports, especially with the quickly ascending, rising bare knuckle fighting championship that has about going on this month with the much anticipated Paulie Malignaggi taking on Artem Lobov. And then you have Reggie Barnett against Johnny Bedford, and the UFC veteran himself, Chris Lieben, going in there against Brendan Ward. Brendan Ward, you probably know him from previous Bellator. Like I said, Chris the crippler, because when he hits you with those hands, you bound to feel different. That's real talk. It's good to see him back in his cage competing and able to do what he do. You know what I'm saying? Had to pass a couple of screenings and everything and get himself back right. He was refereeing at some point, but when you like Chris Chris Lieben, and you used to being in there in in the heat of battle, landing punches, throwing leather. It just comes down to something that's difficult for some of these fighters to just leave behind, especially when their body is not conforming to what they're used to. They going in there used to knocking people out, and that's what they love to do. It's hard to give it up for medical reasons. So he took some time off from the sport, and he was able to return from being a referee for a little bit to now bare knuckle fighting. So salute to my man Chris Lieben. Real talk. Salute to my man, Reggie Barnett. He's doing his damn thing. Hey, can you hear me there, Christine?
Yeah, I can hear you now. I apologize.
Oh,
I'm in the
cool.
gym.
Let me introduce you. Let me introduce you.
Can you hear me fine?
Yeah, I can hear you. Hello, everyone. This is Scotty White of World Combat Sports. I know it's Friday, so I had to bring a heater on for the weekend. I mean, she got some of the hottest hands in the business right now. I'm talking about one of the baddest female strikers in combat sports, bare knuckle fighting championship, Christine Ferea, the champion of all champions. How you doing today?
Good. How are you?
All right, it's good to have you on. I mean, the last time I spoke to you, you was on the cusp of training for your big bout versus Britain Hart. How did
Yes.
that feel going in there, the bare knuckle fighting championship, and fighting for that strap?
I felt great. Being new to the sport and stuff like that. I was glad to be able to be one of the first to compete for the American champion ship. Uh, I'm super happy. I wanted to end a little different. It was a cut that ended the fight pretty much. I wanted the knockout, of course. I got the TKO ish, but it was great. It felt great, and to be a champion, a professional champion, I'm super excited.
I know it's language and wordplay when it comes to American champion, world champion, but you
Yes,
earned a belt in an organization that's quickly ascending in the combat sports genre, and you was able to achieve that championship. You had to
yes,
feel good about going in there dominating.
yes, very much so. I work really hard, and everything I do in practice, and the discipline, it paid off, and I felt like I outclassed her in every area, mentally, physically. Was faster. Everything. I could just think everything that I've been doing is just coming together. For my whole career is it just finally binding, and my IQ is just getting better and better and better.
So what was it like after post fight there, Christine? AKA the Misfit. For those of you that may not know, what was it like in celebration after you stepped out of the square circle, as bare knuckle fighting championship call it, and had that celebration with the championship?
Oh, it was great. It was so great. And everybody's, "Oh, what's up, champ? What's up, champ?" So
Yeah.
it's a great feeling. And even I went to a tough enough event yesterday for one of my teammates is fighting tonight, and the weigh in, "What's up, champ? What's up, champ?" A lot of people watch this stuff, and
Oh yeah.
just to get the recognition, and everybody giving me props, and super excited about the whole thing. I didn't expect as much as I've gotten from it, being it's so new. But there's so many people that I was in Whole Foods the other day. People are, "Hey, I love your fight. You did great." Da da da. And I'm like, "Wow, these people! I don't even know these people." And I went to somewhere in Laughlin, like a bunch of people recognize me there. So it's like a growing, growing thing. Um, it's crazy. It feels great. Having drinks as a champion. It's
Yeah,
fun.
yeah, yeah.
You know, right after my fight and stuff. I have a few drinks after my fight, and then I go right back to training. But it was so great to, enjoy that victory and as a champion.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you like this, Christine. I like the vibe that you give off as a um I don't know, combat sports pugilist, because you well rounded. A lot of people don't know you did fight in neighboring organizations. You do have, that victory over um Rachel Ostovich,
Yeah.
where you just absolutely dominated her.
Yes.
And for some reason, you didn't get the call up to the UFC. Why do you think that may be?
There could be several reasons. After that fight, I was really bouncing around. I didn't really have too much of a team and stuff like that, and like a stable place to train. It could have been a lot of stability. I had a couple losses after that due to not being in one place. I just couldn't find my place at the time. There could be a different thing, like a couple different reasons. Sometimes I'm just like, okay, I think it might be, I don't have that pretty look.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but there's a lot of not pretty girls in the UFC. So I'm like, I don't know why. There's just a reason. I kind of like, for a while, I'm just like, fuck the UFC, like whatever, But
Mm-hmm.
the thing is, I don't think, I don't know what the reason is. And I think I love bare knuckle and I love boxing. I fell in love with boxing. Boxing has brought my IQ up so crazy. The footwork, the head movement. Um, there's a reason for everything, pretty much is what I'm trying to say.
But your ground game is nasty too. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I've gotten beat up by the best. I threw myself in with the wolves. I go in and I go into work and they're like, okay, the girl wants to fight. You should go fight. So they just beat my ass. So I learned that's how I learned. I just threw myself in with straight up purple belts, brown belts, black belts, white belts, wrestlers, and just pretty much got my ass thrown around for many years. So I learned that way, learned just, no mercy. I didn't have anybody protecting me. I went into gyms by myself. So they just pretty much used me, and that was great for me because it made me super tough.
what was it like, when you was moving around? You walking up in the gyms, people may not be familiar with you. You probably came in there with the baseball cap turned to the side,
Yep,
and they
for
say,
real.
"Hey, may we help you out?" And then you say, I'm here to whoop anybody ass that want to get to
Pretty
work."
much. I think a lot, I intimidate a lot of people because of my confidence. And I think it's more like I go into a gym wanting, and I'm not going in there like, oh, I'm gonna fuck up everybody. Or excuse my language. Sorry. I'm gonna mess up everybody in this gym. I'm going in there like I wanna learn to be a better fighter, and that's
Yeah.
just my mentality. But I think with my tattoos and my short hair, and people are like, okay, we got, they just take me as a little rougher, obviously, than the typical girl that's coming in. Um, I think I have it coming in their view, and I can also take it. I think they think so. You know what I mean? So when I
Yeah.
go in there, it's just from day one, I've never had it easy. I literally would get my ass whooped. I've had my ass whooped so many times, but that's why I'm so tough. And I always walked away with a smile. I loved it from day one. From day one, I loved this and getting my ass beat. So I don't know. I think it's good that I don't know if I am like naive in a way, but I think it was good the way when I didn't know what was going on in the fight game, that I went in the way I did, because I don't want to be like I see other fighters that are so babied and they're so protected. That wasn't my life. That wasn't my fight life for like 8 years. I was never protected, and I had broken shins, broken ribs, just because I'm so aggressive. And then the guys, like,
Yeah.
okay, you want to throw these? Okay, I'm gonna throw hard too. So I just kind of I learned the hard way. I learned the hard way with everything though. So it was a good. I feel like it's a good way I came up, because I can I can fight anybody now. I can fight anybody at any time and be mentally and physically prepared for the overload, even if it's an aggressive or technical person. Just because I've had so much experience in the gym with so many different people at so many different gyms and coming in without protection.
Yeah, absolutely. That's damn good points right there. And fighting in bare knuckle fighting, the some pockets of the fight community is still gravitating to the sport,
Mm,
what I'm saying, the casual, so to speak.
right.
But being that you stepped in there with Britain Hart, that was like your second time competing in bare knuckle, right?
Yes.
So, what's a little intricate detail that you find out, with empty knuckles and everything, going in there, throwing a punch, and the way it felt once you start connecting?
See, I don't feel it. That's the thing, is I don't feel anything till after the fight. for one.
Okay.
Um, I don't know if I just put myself in some kind of zone or if my adrenaline. Um, I'm in there to, if I died in the ring, I'd be happy. So if that ever happened, just know that I'm super happy that happened because that's how I want to go out. But, I go in there, I live, die, whatever. I'm going in there, no, very aware of whatever happens, happens. If I get knocked out, I know I'm going to go out fighting. You know, all the negatives I've accepted, all the positives I've accepted. So, but when I am throwing, I don't want to break my hand because I've had my hand broke before and it sucks. You can't do anything with it. So I'm pretty much going speed, more speed than like turning over turning over my hip. I turn over my hip a little bit, but not all the way through like I would do in a Muay Thai fight or an MMA fight. So like that's a little detail that has helped me so far, is not trying to take someone's head off. Like I'm just trying to touch you up until I see you hurt. That's when I start pouring on more power, or releasing, my combinations a little bit more with more power when I know you're hurt.
So it deals with a lot of placement of your punches
Yes.
and not really pulling back on the power as much, but making sure you place them in the right area to do damage.
Right. Yeah, yeah. I don't want to throw with a whole bunch of power.
Okay.
Like most of the time, because I don't. That's a 6 month thing, and it
Yeah.
sucks. You can't eat with your hand, depending on what hand it is. It's then you could only like hit the bag with one hand, and that's what I did. I was like hitting the bag for like 4 or 5, 6 months with one hand. It's a pain in the butt. So I don't want to break my hand. I rather go for speed. I rather just catch you here. Like 7, 8 punches, it's gonna cut you anyway. But
So
I'm set.
I've been listening to you on social media, reading your comments, and I think it's right on point, man. I think it's in line. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, as the build up was happening, Beck Rollins signed the
Oh
Bellator,
God.
and I'm like, what is that about? Because that would have been a damn good fight, But now it just seems like they're gonna toss you in this four fight tournament that they have going on over there.
Yeah, for a women tournament. I think they have four of us, so it'll probably be, well, two of us will fight somebody, and then we'll fight for the belt. I believe that's how it's gonna go, the bare knuckle belt. But I haven't. This isn't confirmed with like Dave or anything. That's something I read. That was quoted from him. I don't know if you quoted that or if it was somebody else.
Well, I saw it out there. I guess in news media, due to the
Right.
tournament, now that Beck Rollins is going over the Bellator,
Yeah, yeah.
you
She's
know.
a The thing is that people were telling me, like, everybody, right when it happened, everybody send me all this stuff. I was like, okay, like, she's no longer my problem. Like,
Yeah.
she was sitting in the number one spot. That's why I wanted her. Is she someone that I would pick out to fight to better myself as a fighter? No. You know what I mean? But she, I think I don't know. See, the thing is, I don't know why she do what she do, and I don't know why she's making the choices she's making. So I can't really speak on
Because
that. You know what I'm
because
saying?
I can speak on it because I'm media. You might not
Right,
be able
right, right.
to, but I'm just saying, like, for Beck Rollins, seeing her at the UFC once she did make the transition out, she was on a slide. Like, she really wasn't that much of a competitor to the point where she was one of my favorite fighters. I just think she had a lot of areas to improve in, and she was able to be the Ronda Rousey of bare knuckles. She got over there at the right time. They
Yep.
brought her in, and she was winning. But I was like, I
Nah,
seen you
dude.
fight.
From a personal point, like a personal perspective, she's stupid for making that decision. She should have stayed with Dave. She should have grew in there,
Yeah,
and she's gonna go to MMA, and she's. I'm not trying to be a hater. She's gonna lose. She's not. She's a. She's just not. It's not good for her. I know that. I know that. And that's not even being a hater. Like, she's gonna lose. Like, I looked up some of the. I don't really watch too much MMA and all that. So, but I looked up since she was going over there. I kind of looked up the
her weight
roster,
class or
the 125,
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, they got some really, really good stand up, you know,
Oh yeah.
some girls with some like some experience, like some girls that I would be like, oh, okay, like I'm gonna have to like really bite down and get ready for this fight type fighters. And I know I'll beat her at anything. I'll beat her at ground, I'll beat her at stand up, I'll beat her at any part
Yeah.
of the game. So I mean, she I think she made a career move that she's gonna regret.
I mean, I don't understand the point though, Christine. Like, I really don't understand the point. You know, it just seems like you was getting closer. And I
Yeah,
saw
I
that
know.
fight between you and Beck Rollins. I was like, shit, I'll take Christine any day when it comes to Beck Rollins. You know, I
Yeah.
was trying to tell people like I I don't see like her striking in bare knuckles even. I'm just not overly impressed with it from where she's
No.
been in the UFC to now.
She doesn't even move her head and it's boxing.
Yeah, she gets
She
hit, man.
doesn't
She's easy to
move
get
her
hit.
head. I'm like, this is the most basic girl ever. I will destroy her. And she's like, it would have been a great opportunity for me. That's why I was chasing it, because it was a great opportunity with the following she has and who she is. However, she got the name from the show and everything. It's definitely not her fighting IQ, and her skill. But
Yeah.
but the thing is like it would have blew me up. You know what I'm saying? It would have been great. That's why I was chasing it. But I mean, that's I tell people, you know what? She's not my problem anymore. Like I'm not gonna. They're like, oh, chase her to Bellator. I'm like, dude, no, she's not. I'm not
Hell
chasing
no.
some girl to Bellator. One girl. Why would I do that? And the thing is, I love bare knuckle boxing, and I was gonna. I did a post that I was gonna concentrate on MMA for for the rest of the year, but it's just like I love boxing. I
Man, I
love
hope you
bare
stick
knuckle
with bare
boxing.
knuckle fighting because it's
Oh,
you. I don't see
I
anybody
know.
over there in your weight class doing anything with you over there, especially once you get in this tournament. I just don't see it, man. And
And
continue to
they,
talk your shit there,
I will.
Christine. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry
Yeah,
about the tattoos and what everybody
yeah,
think, man. Your
yeah.
vibe, your persona, and how you represent you as a fighter is outstanding for bare
Thank
knuckle
you.
fighting.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm gonna remain myself, and sometimes we get caught up. Oh, I want more money. I want this. I want that. But the thing
Yeah,
is, I'm a fighter. I'm gonna fight no matter what. And if I don't fight, then I don't have a career. So I need to get on it. The money is people get in your head. You need to get more money. You need to do this. It's not about that shit for me, dude. It's about fighting. It's priceless to me, honestly, because it saved my life. Like this is who I am, like down to the core. So there's not a price on this, even though like of course I want to make a living and be able to be comfortable and stuff like that. But if someone's not going to pay me and it's something I love in a
yeah.
way, everybody doesn't get paid what they want in life. Like the corporate person, my wife don't get paid as much as she should. She's invaluable. She doesn't get, you know what I mean? So um, that's another reason I should have been on this June 22nd card, but I didn't take it because the money wasn't right. Um,
Okay. I
but
was gonna ask you that next. Yeah. All right.
but I'm getting I'm getting paid good. Don't get me wrong, but I wanted more. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh, I'm a champion. I should be able to get more and all this. But the thing is first of all, it's not a bare knuckle. I have the Police Gazette belt. It's not. It wasn't Dave Feldman's belt, so it's really not. Weight on him. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's not. It's tricky. So, um, yeah, that's what happened for this June 22nd fight. Because I could have been on that card, but I'm not going to pass it up again. And if there's a fight, I'm taking it. It doesn't matter at this point. The money. I'm going to pass it up for what paper? This is a fight. This is what I love to do, and I'll make my career, make my money after I'm done building my resume and showing who I am as a fighter, and then people want to train with me and do, the future, So that's what I've came in. Uh, that's what I came to think and make the decision for myself. I'm not saying that I'm going to take $1,000 to fight, but you know what I mean. It's not going to be, oh, I need more, I need more, I need more. That's just how I'm doing it.
Yeah, I understand you. I feel you. You know, you have to kind of wager your worth. in this sport.
Yes.
You are the one in there taking punishment there, Christine. You've heard it before. Speaking of that fight that's popping off this month,
I'll go ahead.
I spoke to Paulie when I was in New York City,
Uh-huh.
and the big fallout and the history between Paulie sparring with Connor, the bad blood between those camps and everything. How do you
Yeah.
see that fight playing out between Paulie and Artem?
Okay. Well, so if Paulie can keep his ego in check, not get emotional, keep his distance, and box him, he'll be fine. If he starts to go fucking, oh sorry, if he starts to go toe to toe with Artem, that's Artem's bread and butter right there. He's an
Correct.
MMA fighter. I feel like he's like a thicker, like bigger guy, like stronger almost. Um, he's gonna if he can outsmart him, he can beat this guy's butt without like nothing. Like you
One thing
know,
about Artem, Christine, he's used to taking punishment all the time.
I know.
A lot of his losses is by decision. So he's a tough
No,
guy. But
very very
the ca-
tough.
the caveat to your point, you made a damn good point about Paulie standing on the outside and boxing Artem.
Hmm.
He can win the fight that way.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, he can win that fight. He can win that fight if he acts right. If he
Yeah.
acts right in the ring, if he just keeps his composure, he's got that fight. Arden, I feel like Artem could win by like just just some crazy punches. He's not gonna like outsmart Paulie. He's not gonna outbox Paulie. Obviously, um, I think he can catch him though. That's for
Being
damn
being
sure.
being that Paulie wasn't considered one of those power punchers in boxing,
Yeah,
do you believe that Artem would pretty much try to bully him and close distance and do a little dirty boxing?
he
You know what
needs
I'm
to.
saying?
If he wants to win, he's gonna have to because boxers. I've sparred many boxers, and they do not like their head being touched.
Okay.
It like, oh, they do not like that. That like drives them up a wall. So,
Even with headgear on?
oh man, they hate it. So I guess that's a little tip for you MMA fighters out there.
Yeah.
They hate it, man. So like it literally frustrates the crap out of them. So all of them that I've trained with, like if they're true boxers, yeah, because you're not allowed to do that in boxing. So when you have someone come over and clinching you, grabbing your head, pulling it down continuously, man, it's gonna mess them up.
Let me get your reaction on the fight that just took place in the strawweight division, man. Thug Rose Namajunas is one of my
Oh,
favorite fighters over there. She got dumped on the head, and she was
oh,
exchanging pretty effectively against
beautiful
Jessica
boxing.
Andrade.
Yes, I don't know anybody in MMA that has the stand up striking she does, the
Yeah.
boxing she does. Like she's like the best. When I watched that, I was like, oh my god, it's so beautiful. I don't even like watching like the MMA striking, and that striking is beautiful.
Hmm.
So hats off to Thug Rose. Yeah, that knockout, that was a technical error on her part, man. Big
What
time.
what should she have done for the casuals or the fight fans that's tuning in that may not know how to counter? Being in a position with a power striker like Jessica Andrade, who is known to kind of get close to you and just overpower her opponents, overwhelm them. What could Thug Rose could have done to stop that initial
Well,
throw?
the only wrong thing she did is let her is holding on to her. She
Okay.
held on. She should just let go because she's a better fighter all the way, all around. She
Yeah.
could outclass her in every area, physically, speed, strength, everything. Not strength. Okay, maybe I don't know. She's just like a little compact thing, but the Rose is strong too.
Yeah,
Like
she is.
she might be skinny, but she's not weak. You know what I'm saying? So I sparred her. I sparred her at, a few years ago, and I was 125er. She's strong. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
never sparred the other girl, but she should have just. Why are you gonna hang on with someone who's like dumps people like that? I don't know. She had a little bit more confidence in that area than she should have. It was that simple. Just don't someone that picks up opponents all the time and slams them like that. Don't hold on to them. That's
Yeah.
the only thing that's what I wouldn't do. I mean, go for your submissions and stuff like that, but that's just I wouldn't hold on to somebody that's slamming people.
Do you believe that she'll return and try to avenge that, get some retribution, or she's just gonna stick to her words post fight and do something that she feels good up top, mentally being outside the fight game?
I really can't answer that, but I think that she's reached the highest level, and you know, I mean, she doesn't really have much. She doesn't seem like she's fighting for it anymore. Excuse me, fighting for it anymore. And she's had it. So to have like, I don't know. I don't feel like she has that hunger right now.
Yeah.
It could come back though. Like I've lost. Like I've always fought, but or always trained and always been competing, but I have lost that fire, 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 fire. That's why when I have it, I keep it, and I'm growing with it, because it comes and goes sometimes. You can't just always be on fire. So she's probably gonna take a break. She'll take a year or two off maybe, and then come back, and then maybe work again, maybe go back to it, maybe not. You know?
Is losing that fire something that goes along with your progression in the sport, whether you're winning or losing, or who you're training with, not switching up the gyms that you train with? I mean, what can cause a fighter to just lose that drive? I know you can't talk for the consensus, but as
Right.
a fighter yourself that's moved around and understand how that works,
Oh yeah.
what can be a determining factor?
I think it's your team, it's your surroundings, who you're around. If it's not if you're not around a bunch of motivated people, it's kind of like, okay, like a day-to-day boring thing. You know what I mean? I think it can vary if you have problems in your life. If you're getting weighed down at home and you're trying to make it to practice and you're just not performing, there's a lot of different things that could be happening. You have to be really zoned in, very healthy person, like mentally, physically, nutritionally, everything. You have to be like, you have to be very careful who's around you and what you're putting in your body to keep yourself strong and mentally strong, emotionally strong, to be able to do this every day. And the team is, I think, is number one.
Yeah.
And the guy like Dewey Cooper, David Hayes, my strength conditioning, and my head coach, and all my teammates, we're all very motivated. Don't we? We're not lazy. I don't like being on lazy teams and people that are just bitching all the time, complaining, and it just, or people that are like not good sportsmen in the gym, and like they're getting mad when they get beat up, type thing. I don't like that, because it just brings bad energy, and then you don't like what you're doing. If you get me that day, okay, I'm gonna get you next time.
Yeah.
Like that's how it should be. It shouldn't be a personal thing.
And shout out to Dewey Black Cobra Cooper, in
Hmm.
the house, and also
Yeah.
Daniel Strauss over there. Just
Yes.
shout out to the whole team to be getting it
Yeah.
in. I see you out there posting videos, man. Talk
Yeah.
about that song. I know you're not gonna drop
Oh
any
yeah.
freestyle bars out here, but
I
talk about the
don't
song.
know. Maybe if I have some drinks in me, I think I can, but nah, I'm
Yeah.
on a sober tip. um, yeah, but there's a rapper. He hit me up online. He's like, I made a song for you, and I was like, sent me a little piece of it, and I was like, oh, that's super cool, man. Um, uh, it's super cool, Like it was real nice of this guy to do it, and he hasn't finished the video yet. I let out some of the unedited versions and stuff, and I
Okay.
had,
Yeah.
yeah, and it's not mastered yet. Um, it was super fun to do the video and have him make a song, and we mentioned the world champion not wanting to fight and stuff like that. It was pretty cool. It was really, really, really cool.
That's what you're
It,
supposed to do, Christine. I
yeah,
mean, like I said, just keep that energy up that you got, man.
yeah,
It may not be reflecting on you just yet, that people gravitating to who you are, but
yes,
as I'm looking at combat sports and what you're supposed to look for in a fighter and a champion, you
yeah.
give off that vibe, that energy. You know what I'm
Thank
saying?
you.
Plus,
Yeah,
and plus, you're a bad chick. You can fight. You know what I'm
yes,
saying? So I'm
yes,
telling you, with all the tattoos and everything else, it goes along with who you are as a person.
yeah. Thank
You're
you,
entertaining. And
thank
if
you.
you're on the card at bare knuckle fighting, I'm definitely gonna tune in. I'm like, yeah, I gotta check her
Yes,
out, man. You
I
know,
appreciate that for
hopefully,
sure.
yeah, I'm not sure where you're trying to go as far as because I don't see anybody in that 4-woman tournament defeating you over there. I just
No,
don't see it. And I know
Not
they're
yet.
not gonna put another fighter in there that you already beat. You know what I'm
I don't think
saying?
so. Yeah, I don't. Maybe they might. They might. And if I have to fight Britain Hart again, that's fine. I think that that might come down. There's a, I know Helen Peralta is signing. She signed, I believe. And then there's Britain Hart, and then there's Sheena Starr. Then there's a couple other girls I can't think of their names right now. That are over there, but nah, none of them can
How do you
take
see the
that.
bout? You know, I got a couple more questions there. How do you see the bout taking place with Valentina Shevchenko and Jessica Evil Eye going
Ooh,
on this weekend?
I, I'm a Shevchenko fan, man. She's a
Yeah.
stand up. Oh yeah, she's another one that I love her stand up. Um, I believe that Shevchenko has the higher IQ and skill and grit. She's a,
Hmm.
Muay Thai background. I mean, no, and from Peru. So yeah, I already know. I trained with a Peruvian Muay Thai guy for a long time. I know how they are, and I know how they train, and I know how they bring you up. So there's no. I mean, good luck to Evil Eye, right?
Yeah.
No,
Hmm.
no, mm-mm. Shevchenko by far, and it might even be a stoppage. I think so.
Okay.
I know Eye's super tough, but Shevchenko just has them hands. She went with Nunes, and then you know what I'm saying?
Twice.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah. So come on, dude. She ain't, no one at 125 is gonna knock her out or hurt her if
Yeah.
Nunes didn't. You know what I'm saying? Like that's
Uh-huh.
a powerful woman right there. So nah.
Who do you look at as having the best go with dispersing of Ronda Rousey? Amanda Nunez when she just went in there and beat the brakes off Ronda, or Holly Holmes, you know, her lead
Oh.
up to the left high kick.
Who was the best knockout?
Yeah, who do you think got the
Oh,
best, Amanda Nunez or Holly Holmes or Ronda Rousey?
I I think Holly Holm. Holly Holm,
Yeah,
that was sick.
it was, man.
That push off to the kick. Bah! Oh, that was so sick. Like I believe like head kicks are like they're to, they're hard to land. You should be able to block them, but she landed it, so that's awesome.
Yeah, for
You know,
sure.
yeah.
And
I
last
think I
question
think
there,
Holly Holm.
Christine. You know, what's something that you want to tell your fight fans that's out here? I know that you're always constantly busy in between training. So, what's a
Mhm.
little intricate detail that the fight fans may not know about Christine Misfit Ferea?
Oh shoot. Hmm. I love yoga. I don't know.
You love
Um,
ink. You
I
love the
love
ink.
I love yoga, man. Like I love doing yoga and I love getting in my zen. You know what I'm saying? Like going crazy and going hard, being violent all the time. I got to get that
Yeah,
zen. So that's like a little something that I don't know. I post a little bit about, but I really enjoy and learn to calm my mind and learn to, because my mind goes fast. It's like
hmm,
super fast on it. So when I have to go into yoga, I have to slow it down, hold poses, and breathe, work on my breathing, and just be, no phone, no, outside music. So it makes me have to really calm it down. So I like that. That's like something that really helps me. My fighting and my life, everything.
do you do is your training consist of 2 a days, or it depends on if you have a fight, you know how close your fight is?
I try not to do 2 days all the time because I mean I do a lot of studying on the body and try not to like overload my central nervous system and my adrenal
Okay.
gland and stuff like that. So, but most of the time I'm doing 2 days. So if it's like I'm here in the morning, then at night I either have strength conditioning or I do my run at night. So I try to calm it down and try to like let my body recover and give myself a break so I'm more effective and recharged and I don't run myself into the ground and I have more years to fight.
Absolutely, champ. It's been a pleasure as always. You know, like I said, shout out to your fam, your wife, your team
Thank
over
you.
there. Hey, much
Thank you. Thank you.
much success to you heading forward, man. I'm going to
I
be
appreciate you
tuned
having me
in.
on. Thank you. Thank you so much. Shout out to everyone, all my sponsors, Sin City Vapor, Athlete Hub, um, Vince Anderson with Nerdy. Uh, let's see, Team Healthy, Team Healthy one. Uh, right now, I have a hard time. I need to have my sponsors written down, man.
Yeah.
But shout out to all my peoples, Black Cobra Striking Systems, One Kicks Gym, uh, Bare Knuckle. I appreciate, having opportunities to fight, and all the fans and everybody that supports me for who I am. And it's not the popular thing to do, but it will be one day.
Yeah. Shout out to
So
everybody who support the Misfit. You know
yep,
what I'm
yep.
saying? That's
I
in a
appreciate you.
nutshell. That's how it's
Yep,
supposed to be.
yep. I appreciate everything. I appreciate all the love, and thank you for having me on.
All right, for real. Hey, enjoy your weekend. Salute to you there,
Uh,
Christine. And I look forward to seeing your next fight.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right.